Okay, Aries, I'm going to do a reading specifically for y'all. We're going to use the Buddha deck first. I'm not actually getting a whole bunch off your preliminary reading. Okay, we've got aging in the reverse. That just came out. You might be dealing with the Capricorn, possibly. For them, this was like the theme of the reading. It came out right in the middle. And that's the only reason I'm saying that. We've got number 21, compulsive feeling. So you're not going to age some type of compulsive feeling. You might be moving through some feelings of like you kind of want to take the knee-jerk reaction way out of something, but at the same time, you might not know that it's not healthy or that it's not good, or like you're making the best of a scenario that you are going through. Here's number 17, the grasping mind. Okay. So you're not going to be thinking about like the old times or the olden days or the past, the history of something. You're going to go off compulsion of like what your mind is currently grasping for. It's very much living in the moment energy coming through. You're not really worried about what's going to happen or what has happened. You're more worried about what's happening, like what's happening right now. Okay. Like you want to know, yeah, here's shallow mind in reverse. You are not in the mood to be in a reactive emotion. So like if someone triggers you emotionally, you're probably more likely to just withdraw. Be like, no, I'm not really interested in being emotional over that. I'm not shallow. If you've never seen Shallow Hal, you could be looking at something like, you could be looking at somebody, yourself, or some scenario in the mindset of like, I could look at this only for looks, but I'm actually trying to read into deeper meanings behind things. It could just be a stage in your life where you're realizing that there's more to life than just the way that things look. Automatically grace when I cut the deck is there. You could be showing a lot of grace to somebody or something, maybe yourself. Let me see what else is coming through. So you've got rest in the reverse. Yeah, you're not gonna rest just because you're getting older or just because you're like aging. Time doesn't get to dictate for you like what your actions are. I feel like for some reason there's a need for me to reiterate that for Aries in particular right now, you could be like not getting enough rest, like your beauty sleep that you need to fight aging or whatever. But I also feel like it's because you're being useful in your actions and your thoughts and in your feelings. Um, Compulsive feeling says we have produced many of our problems through our confused mental state. So the fact that you're not being shallow right now kind of tells me that you're not really being confused. You're trying to take things not only at face value, but then I feel like there's some tempering energy between what you feel, what you're doing, and what you're saying. Yeah, look, there's suffering in reverse. There's something about this compulsive feeling kind of driving you not to suffer any further. Like there's something about, okay, so this is number 23 in the reverse. So I want to say it's almost like this. You say, "Oh, I'm getting old. I don't know if I really want to go out anymore or involve myself in the social mix of like the young people or the young crowd or whatever." This is like your compulsive feeling or your knee-jerk reaction is to go out and participate with that crowd. Psychic awareness is here. Okay. Not only that, but it's almost like your mind is trying to tell you that there's something there that you need to learn, that you need to hear, that you need to evolve towards. I don't know why that's coming out so strongly. I'm actually going to take number 47 for psychic awareness there because I feel like that actually fits. There's something about your brain wanting to have almost a supernatural connection with somebody, or with yourself for that matter. It says, when we are deluded, there's a world to escape. When we are aware, there's nothing to escape. So it's almost like you're inheriting the world, or you're in the middle of inheriting a world that you didn't know was even open to yourself. And now you don't feel like resting. You feel like going to live in that world all the time, you know? You feel like compelled. It might be towards something that doesn't look good to anyone else. It could be something that's like everyone else has a lot to say about it, a lot of negative feedback. Could be really, yeah, look at this, it's gifts coming out with shallow mind. So number 6 is in the upright with 18 in the reverse. What shallow mind says, just FYI, to start from the self and try to understand all things is delusion. Exhaustion is coming out here. To let the self be awakened by all things is the ultimate awakening. So I feel like something might be kind of, that's what I'm saying. Someone's gifts or your gifts or just the way that your gifts can be used in the world are being woken up. It's almost like you might have been looking at things from a very surface level before, and something all of a sudden has started to awaken you. It started to um, address you directly in a way that is like undoubted. It's undoubtable. I don't know why I'm saying undoubtable. There's a song by Gwen Stefani called No Doubt. I'm just hearing that, and it's kind of like you have no doubt that something is really, yeah, look at this, victory is coming out. So this is number 15. This is the gift of victory. Okay. So this gift card in the upright came out with shallow mind in the reverse. You're not thinking about something for its aesthetics. You're thinking about something for, it's like knowing that school would be really hard to get through, but you're going to do it even though it looks really difficult. You're going to do it because you aesthetically know that the victory at the end of the road is worth the energy that is going to be spent on taking classes or making time to take classes or the money spent taking classes, whatever the case may be. Interesting. This just fell on the bench right next to me and then popped onto my knee. I know that sounds weird, but that's what just happened. I tried to pick it up and it popped and went straight on my knee. This is number 44, the strength card. And that's what's coming out with, like, there's no aging in terms of rest. So it's almost like, do you see this woman holding the weight of the world with one hand kind of behind her back? It's like it's like you are her right now. You're holding the weight of something. This is number 44, number 24, and number 25, by the way. Rest, number 24, is in the reverse, as is number 25. And 44 is here in the upright. It's almost like you have located an area, not only in your own life, but maybe in the world, that needs a little bit of encouragement or a little bit of a push in order to feel strong, right? And you're more than willing to show up and do that. It's like you're filling this position perfectly right now. I feel like someone would say, like, no, there's no complaints. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are very agile in what it is that you're doing. You see her leg? She doesn't need to rest. It's almost like you are the source of energy for something right now. That you're the one powering things. I just am seeing a whole bunch of lights that are kind of like fading in and out, like they dim out and then they get really bright. And it's because you're the one orchestrating it. You're the one like plugging it in and then pulling it out and then plugging. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, look, there's 34. So there's a 10-point shift here. 10 is great because it means you're 10 toes down for something. This is the spark. You might have just found a new spark, a new something that's kind of lighting your fire, putting a little pep in your step, for a lack of a better term. This psychic awareness and grasping mind, I don't think you've been real outright about this. I don't think you've been super loud, like, oh, guess what I found, and blah, blah, blah. It might just even be like a tiny little piece of information. So let's say you want to go back to school and you want to go back to school for a very specific subject. This would be like randomly finding a piece of information about this subject sitting right in front of you, right? And instead of you feeling discouraged, like, oh man, I'm never going to do that, this is that moment where your mind is like, wait a minute, like I could actually achieve that. My grasping mind could become psychically aware in 2 seconds flat if I follow this specific trajectory, right? That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from there. Yeah, look at this. It's magic stream. There's something about demystifying a situation. You're able to decode, demystify, or somehow identify what you need to stop being shallow about, or what you need to, like, your grasping mind is not paying attention to the physical world around you. You're very much stirred up on the inside, or somehow like this victory has you kind of like on the edge of your seat. You know what I mean? The golden place is here at the bottom of the deck, but I'm not going to take that for the reading. Your reading might be kind of short. Here's Ghostlands with an S, okay? And I do just want to say the Ghostlands are giving me like you found the portal. You found this opening in life where you don't have to have a conscious stream of thought. It's like an automatic knee-jerk reaction.